And if you have ever had maybe a friend or a sibling of yours write something about yourself. So if someone wrote something about you. Kaylee, what did they write about you? What kind of things did they include?
My brother wrote it, and said that his sister.
Oh, so he was describing you.
Yeah.
He described his sister, Kaylee. Okay, Zane?
My mom wrote it because it was something in 3rd or 2nd grade.
Okay.
So she said that I was really helpful, but I was kind of my brothers and sisters at times.
So a little more describing of what kind of things you do. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about biographies. Raise your hand if you've heard of a biography before. Oh, most of you. Good. Good. Who can give an example maybe of a biography that either you've read or maybe that you've heard about? Sarah?
Anne Frank.
What was it? Anne Frank? Oh, yeah. She has a lot of biographies about her. A lot of people have wrote about her life because she's kind of a memorable person. Yeah, exactly. Trent?
In 2nd grade, we did a project about a person. We read books.
So did you write about the person that you were... So you researched a person and you wrote a biography because you were writing on that person. That's awesome. And so, okay, who can tell me maybe what a feature is? We're going to be talking about features of a biography. What is a feature?
Information, kind of information about that person.
Well, I think you're going on a biography. So yeah, a biography might be information on a person.
That someone else got.
Yep, yep. We're talking about what is a feature? A feature of a biography. What would a feature be? Fabian?
Like kind of information about him.
Oh, so information about a biography. Different parts that make up a biography. Okay, well, let's look at one. A biography tells the person's date and place of birth. Why might you think, or why do you think this feature is important for a biography? Cash?
So maybe when it's happening, when it started, or.
Yeah, if you're talking about a person, it's probably really important to know maybe how old they are, when they were born, if they passed away, maybe it's important to know when they died. Those are all really important things. Do you have something to add, Kelly? Okay. Oh, you were going to say what I was going to say? We're on that same wavelength there. Okay? Who thinks they know maybe of another feature of a biography? What might another feature be? Another part of a biography? Alex?
There's just like most of the biographies I've read are about well-known people, like why they're well-known, like Harriet Tubman.
So if they had interesting events happen in their life, I know that a biography describes the person's impact on the world. So just what you said, I know you said Harriet Tubman. She had a pretty big impact on the world. Does anybody remember what she did? Alex?
She freed slaves?
Yeah, she freed slaves. That's a big impact on the world. Okay, let's look at another one. A biography starts with a strong hook. Oh, hook. What might a hook be? Landon?
Like what a reader, like how they get interested in it. Like it's like the first part of the story, how to get them interested in it.
Exactly. The first part of maybe the passage or the story that brings the reader in. It makes the reader want to know more about whoever this person is. Exactly. Okay? Another one. A biography quotes the person and or people who knew that person. Why might this information be important in a biography? Why might this information be important in a biography? We're quoting the person who it's about, or the people who knew the person who it's about. Ashima?
Maybe that quote is really important and it tells more about the person.
Exactly. Tells more about that person. It describes that person more, kind of like what Kaylee and Zane's, biographies that their family members wrote about them. Exactly. Another one. A biography describes the person's personality and characteristics. That's what Kaylee and Zane's biographies about them were. It described their personality or their characteristics. What's a characteristic again? Ava?
Something about that person.
Something about that person, yeah. It describes them as a human being, exactly. And another feature, let's look. A biography tells about the person's family, childhood, and important events. Well, this kind of goes along with the person's impact. If they had important events occur in their lives, that might lead to the impact that they left on the world. Okay? So these are all different features of a biography. Now, raise your hand if you can tell me if it is a nonfiction or a fiction. Is biography a nonfiction or a fiction? Caleb?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction. Why is it nonfiction?
It's real.
It's real. It happened. Exactly. It's not a made-up story. These are real events that happened. Okay, so we kind of already talked about what a biography is. Maybe someone can give us another good definition for what a biography is. Who thinks they can give us a good definition for what a biography is? Aiden?
A book that is about a person's life.
Love it. And who wrote the biography?
Not them.
Not them. Someone else wrote it about them, right? Exactly. So a book or a story about someone. Written by. We're looking forward a little bit, but who knows what it means if you write something about yourself? What is that called? Kellen? Autobiography. So a biography is when someone else writes it about you, and an autobiography is if you are writing it about yourself. So if Cash were to write a story about Cash, that would be an autobiography. If Kellen were to write a story about Cash, that would be a biography. Does that make sense? Yeah, kinda? Yeah? Okay, there's more head shaking. That's what I like. Okay. What is the purpose of biographies? First, let's look, what does a purpose mean? What is a purpose? Zane?
Like why it's there.
Why it's there. The reason that they're writing it. Exactly. So what would the purpose of a biography be? What would the reason for someone to write a biography? Yep. Rohan?
To give information about what that person has done.
Yeah, exactly. To give more information to the readers about that person. I love it. And when we're giving more information, this would be all of the information that's being included, right? All of these different features. Exactly. Okay, turn to your neighbor and talk about how you would read a biography. Turn to your neighbor and talk about how you might read a biography. Go.
You could just like
Oh, I conversation just turned right around. Conversations have stopped. Great job, guys. Okay, someone raise your hand and talk about what you talked about with your partner on how you might read a biography. Sarah?
Like, it could be happy or sad. Like, Memories of Anne Frank was really sad. And the end of Birdie was kind of in the middle. So.
Oh, okay. So what kind of things are you paying attention to while you read a biography? What are you really paying attention to? Ava?
Normally, like, the stuff it tells you about that person.
Yeah,
To get, like, to know more about that person.
Exactly. You're paying attention to the features, the specific maybe sequence of events, things that happen in the order that they do, or maybe the setting, where they were born. Those are all very important things that you're going to be thinking about and paying attention to when you are reading a biography. You're paying attention to the features, okay? So. Okay, and then who writes biographies? We kind of already talked about this, but who writes biographies? Cash K?
The person that is talking about it.
So is it the person who the biography is about, or is it someone else?
The person about the biography.
Okay, so that would be an autobiography. If the person that it's talking about is writing it themselves, that's the autobiography. Who writes the biography, Ryan?
Another person.
Yeah, another person. It could be, like we said, maybe family members, friends, someone who just wants to learn more about someone's life. Maybe they're interested in Civil War, so they research a sergeant in the Civil War. Okay? That's kind of who writes biographies. Anybody can write a biography, though, right? We could all write biographies about someone, couldn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay, so now we are actually going to read a biography. Yeah, exciting, right? Okay, so we are going to be paying attention to those features. Okay, and how do we start by reading? Should we start by asking questions again? So that's one of our comprehension strategies. So let's ask some questions. Just looking at this, looking at the picture, maybe the title. Okay, what are some questions that you guys might have right now before we even start reading it? Andy?
Who is Cesar Chavez?
Who is Cesar Chavez? Exactly, great question. With a biography, it's always great to ask, who is this person? Exactly. Kaden, what's another question?
Maybe he's from like a different country or state.
So you're wondering, like, where is he from? Maybe he's from a different spot. Exactly. These are great questions. Haley?
What did he do?
What did he do that he's getting this biography written about him? Right? Okay, Sarah?
What is he talking about?
What's he talking about? Why is he in front of microphones? That's great. Great. Looking at that picture and inferring. Cash K?
Why is he famous and a hero?
Oh, why is he famous and a hero? Did you read the first little part?
No.
Oh, okay.
Most famous people are heroes.
Oh, good inference, yeah. Okay, Alex?
Is she still alive?
Is he still alive? These are all awesome questions. You guys were using those features, thinking about those features, and asking questions on those features. Awesome. Okay, so this is on page 7 if you and your partner want to follow along. I'm going to read it, and then we are still talking about main idea. So I really want you to be paying attention to those features like we talked about, but also be thinking about what could a possible main idea be for this passage on Cesar Chavez. Okay? So be paying attention, following along. Cesar Chavez was a Mexican-American hero. He was born in 1927 in Yuma, Arizona. He died in 1993. So right there in that first paragraph, we already know that when he was born, when he died, where he lived. it talks about this hook. Remember we said that a biography has a hook. Cesar Chavez was a Mexican-American hero. That really brings me in, it lets me know that I want to know more about why is he a hero, okay? Second paragraph. Cesar started working when he was 10 years old. That's like almost the age that you guys are.
I am 10.
Yeah. He works on farms with his family, or he worked on farms with his family. They had to travel from farm to farm. The work was very hard. The pay was very low. Caesar had trouble in school because he moved from town to town. He had to quit school when he was only 13. He had to help support his family. Caesar wanted a better life. When he grew up, he helped workers so they could have better lives. He formed a group called the United Farm Workers. The workers joined together to get fair pay for their hard work. When he wasn't working hard for equal rights, Caesar loved to read. The goal of knowledge is to serve others, he said. Caesar understood that education is the best way to help people. Okay, how many of you have been on a farm or either have family members on a farm? Cash, can you explain maybe like what farm life is like?
It's super long, and if you go by hand, then it will take a couple weeks to pick all the corns by how good the cornfields are.
Yeah, so Cash said it's very long work. I know I have some friends who are farmers, and they have to get up at like 3 a.m. just to start farming, and then sometimes they even have jobs that they have to go to during the day, and after they get back from working there, they have to go back to the farm and work on the farm. Trent, do you have something to add?
My grandma and grandpa, they own a pig farm.
Oh, and do they have really long days and have to work really hard?
My grandpa wakes up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
He has to go and make sure the pigs are fed. And
Yeah.
nothing.
Exactly. So can you imagine doing that at 10 years old? That's like I said, about how old you guys are. Yeah, hands down. Okay, so when I am looking at a main idea, a strategy that I like to use is to just not look at it anymore or to close the book and think, okay, if I were to explain this to someone who doesn't know about Cesar Chavez, what's one sentence that I could tell them? What is one sentence that I could tell them? And I might say, for this passage, I might say, using his name in the main idea because it's about him, okay? Cesar Chavez was extremely hardworking who helped other farmers have better lives. Thumbs up or thumbs down if you think that was an okay or an appropriate main idea. I need to see everybody. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Ava, why do you think it was good?
Because you told his name and you told what he did good and you told everybody what some things about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I used his name, which was important. I explained in this passage what it was all talking about. Well, it was talking about he wanted to help other farmers and why it was important to him because he was a hard worker himself. Okay? So now what I want you guys to do is independently in your reading response journal, I want you to write at least 2 details. Okay? How many details are you writing? 2. Okay? And then you're going to share them with your partner. So go ahead and look in your book. Find 2 details that support the idea that he was hardworking and wanted to help others. Okay? These are stated details. Once you're done, go ahead and put your pencil down and look up. So I know that you're ready. Give you guys another minute to finish up. Okay, do we need a little bit more time or are we good? A little bit more? Okay, I'll give you guys 30 more seconds. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and turn to your partner and share the 2 details that you guys both got. Okay, I heard your conversations kind of start to stop. So let's go ahead, you can share, raise your hand if you'd like to share one of the details that you guys got, and I'll go ahead and underline it in the passage so that we know exactly where you got it. Okay, it can be yours or it can be your partner's. Kaylee. Okay, when he was born. Yeah, that is definitely a detail. Okay, Ryan?
Caesar started working when he was 10 years old.
Caesar started working when he was 10 years old. Ryan, how does that support the main idea that I said that he was hardworking and he wanted to help others?
Because, like, he wanted to, like, he started working because he needed, it would take a long time if he didn't, like, start earlier.
Yeah, that's great. Telling us when he started shows that he is very hardworking. Exactly. What's another detail? Nicole?
When Caesar grew up, he helped workers so they could have better lives.
Yes, absolutely. Very good. When he grew up, he helped workers so they could have better lives. Awesome. That definitely demonstrates the main idea that he wanted to help others. It says it right there. He wanted to help others. Yep, exactly. Haley, let's do one more. He dropped out of school when he was 13. And how does that help us support the main idea? How does that support that main idea of he's hardworking? He wanted to help others. Yeah, he wanted to help support his family. Exactly. And he had to quit at 13 because he needed to work hard. Exactly. Awesome, guys. Very, very good. Okay, so now, since you guys shared, when we go through our rotations, when you are reading to yourself, I want everyone in their own book that they are reading to write the main idea, kind of like what we did on Friday. Okay, you're going to write the main idea of what you've been reading today and 2 details. Okay, so what are you doing when you are reading to self? Raise your hand. Ava, what are you doing?
I'm writing the main idea in 2 details.
Main idea and 2 details, just like what we did. We found the main idea, we wrote 2 details. Any questions? Yes, Ava.
For the main idea, is it just for today? Or
Yep, just today, because a lot of you aren't finished with your books, right? You guys are kind of in the middle of them? Yeah. Yes, Sarah?
What if you're kind of in the middle of a chapter? Can you explain what you read during the chapter a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be taking into consideration the knowledge that you know of the book in the past, the past pages that you've read. So yes, but you are focusing on what you're reading today, the main idea today.
Just like what
Yes,
we did
Landon?
Friday, guys.
Yeah.
If you have to read yourselves, do you do it both?
We're going to talk about that.
Yep.
So since we had a little bit of a different schedule this morning with orchestra, and we had just a couple things backwards, we are only actually going to do 1 station today, and then tomorrow we'll do our full thing. It's just sometimes Mondays get hard because we have a little bit of a different schedule. So we're actually just going to do round 1, and then you'll get a little more time to read during Media Center today. So everybody, just for 20 minutes, is going to do what Ms. Rayfeld just told you to do, and then I'm going to meet with group 3. So you guys won't have to do that right now. You'll be working with me, okay? So group 5, I'll meet with you tomorrow. So that's just, sometimes Mondays are just funny like that because we have orchestra and lots of random things that happen, and we're going to be flexible. Yep. So that will be that. Is that okay, Ms. Rayfeld?
Yes,
Sorry to jump
absolutely.
in.
No, you're good. It's fine. Okay, so when I say the word of the day, you are going to, if just one of your partners, take back the orange book, put it on the shelves nicely. Okay, you're going to keep your reading response journal out because that is where you're going to write the main idea and your details of your story.
And if you're with me, you just need your reading response also, so you're good.
Perfect. Convert. That's the word of the day for those orchestra people who don't know. Great job, guys. Miss Crispin, if it's okay with